Hey, Riley J2A here, back with another. Okay, today we're going to be talking about the state of New York and a couple lawsuits that are coming down against them. A couple new ones. So, I'm going to get right into that. But first, I just want to mention real quick um, Steve Duddlebuck, Biden's second pick for director of ATF, has been confirmed by the Senate. A couple of rhinos made it happen. Unfortunately, you know, he didn't get Chipman, so he got the next best thing, which is, a Chipman wannabe. So, same difference, really. Be aware of that. Nothing more to say about that, though. So, I'm going to get into these lawsuits against New York right now. So, first, going to be looking down at my notes for this. Gun Owners of America, GOA, is suing New York over their Concealed Carry Improvement Act. Okay, so this is a bill that Governor Hochul, rushed through um, following Bruin, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin. I'm sure we've all heard a ton about that at this point. Great win for the Second Amendment. But of course, New York doesn't like to be defeated. They want to continue trampling people's rights. So they passed this bill, which has many things in there. Okay, so this includes, just to name some, good moral character requirements. So they're pretty much just swapping proper cause for this good moral character, which is not defined really what good moral character is. So that is, of course, no good. And also in direct violation of Bruin, tons of new sensitive locations have been coming in under this bill. So 20 plus new locations that are essentially gun-free zones, including all private businesses unless stated otherwise. So that is just horrible right there. Um, Also, you have to give your social media accounts in order to get a license to conceal carry. You have to give information of all people who live in your household as well. This is all really bad, really restrictive, and of course that's why it's being challenged. Um, but another that's just to name a few things in this bill, Concealed Carry Improvement Act, which is being sued, but also um, there's training requirements in here. Now, these training requirements, they don't yet exist. So now this is where you're going to start to see the really backdoor politics side of this, because they don't exist, these requirements. So every license that is issued after September 1st of this year has to meet these requirements. But they don't exist. And they have until April 1st of next year to create these requirements. So that gives a big window, which could span longer than April 1st, if that wasn't bad enough, of next year. Could span longer than that. This is a big gap where it's essentially going to be a loophole where no permits will be given out, which of course is directly violating Bruin. And so, yeah, it's a backdoor way of them simply not giving permits, because of course they don't want to. They don't want you to have rights. They don't care about the Constitution. So that's what we're seeing here is a backdoor attempt to get around Bruin. And that's really bad, really unfortunate. So I'm glad to see Gun Owners of America suing New York over these issues. Okay, now that's all I'm really going to say about that. I'm not going into a ton of detail. You can find details on this, lots of places, of course, as always. But I just wanted to give the brief rundown, which that is it. Now, moving on, I'm going to talk about a second lawsuit. This one comes from the Firearms Policy Coalition, FPC. Um, they're suing New York over their assault weapon ban, so-called assault weapon ban, which is great because, of course, that's just yet another means of taking people's rights in New York. So anytime these infringements can be sued, gotta love that, right? And there's really not much more to say about that. It's pretty simply a lawsuit against their so-called assault weapon ban, which is great. So I just want to talk about, a few couple lawsuits and, what these suits are challenging. Well, that's going to be about it for me. Like I said, I just want to give you the brief rundown, and that is it on a couple lawsuits. So, you know, it's refreshing to see some people fighting back against, tyrants, which is what they have in New York. So that's it. Goodbye.